The Doom collaboration is coming to Diablo Immortal. We already know this, but today I have more details and some sneak peeks at cosmetics that you probably have not yet seen before, all detailed in this Diablo Immortal update. Here's a little sneak peek. I'll show you guys more about those and show them in full later on inside of the video when it's appropriate, but for right now we're talking about Doom and Diablo Immortal colliding, and it's a collaboration that I think feels very natural. Both very beautiful IPs, and better than beautiful, brutal IPs being combined. So on April 16th, only 3 days from today, through March 14th, the Doom Dark Ages crossover event, Slayer Reign event acts as the centralized source of all information and access that you need for the event. So you're gonna be able to get the Argent Armory weapon cosmetic, the Crucible 2-star legendary gem, the 1 piece of legendary gear, and 1 set item. Now, we did talk about the legendary gem. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more here today as well. But that cosmetic is something that's going to be nice and free. And it is something that also in my previous video, I didn't know if it was permanent. It has been confirmed to me that it is a permanent cosmetic. You will not only have it for 30 days, you'll be able to unlock it forever. Slayer's Arsenal. The war rewards those who endure it. All right, so it basically is turning every act of destruction into progress, complete events, tasks to earn Slayer's marks, and then you could use these Slayer's marks to pick up things along the way. As you carve your way forward, unlock Argent Armory weapon transmogs, Doom-themed emojis, and a cache of legendary and set equipment. The path is relentless. The rewards are unmistakable. Claim your weapons, mark your victories. I actually really like this because it's basically how it was done for the Berserk as well, I believe. Now, this is a placeholder image that unfortunately we don't have the full turnaround of it. There'll be an animated version of this at some point, but it's actually a pretty rough look as to what the cosmetic actually looks like. Better, and I'm sure it will look a lot better inside of the game. As you know, the Survivor's Bane is coming with a Doom theme. We're going to have a Doom boss at the very end of it, which is called Cyber Demon. Going to be pretty awesome. I love that they did this update and are focused in on Survivor's Bane for gameplay rather than just a boss that we're going to beat in 30 seconds. This is something that I personally find more fun. Now, there's going to be temporary weapon skills that you're going to use in Survivor's Bane if you care about that. Shield Maw is a spinning shield that circles you, damaging enemies and causing bleeding. Flail slams the ground at the nearest enemy, cracking terrain and slowing foes who cross it. Shredder fires continuously in one direction, critically strikes bleeding enemies. Skull Crusher launches shards of bone and steel at enemies ahead. Super Shotgun devastates enemies in a wide cone of overwhelming force. And Impaler fires relentlessly into one direction, deals critical hits to bleeding enemies. All right, now we're talking about some of the events that are going on, like this one, Fierce Pursuit, from the 22nd through the 13th. It's essentially going to be, Fierce Pursuit binds a cycle of relentless trials into a single march forward. Each victory feeds the next. Each mode becomes another arena where endurance is measured in corpses. Participate in the trials and then rise. So basically we have a progressing event that's going to be going on. Featured gameplay rotation that's going on right here is going to be Survivor's Bane, Trial of the Hordes, and Fractured Plane. Earn event progress by participating in each limited time gameplay throughout the event period. Each week introduces a different featured mode, all contributing towards Fierce Pursuit rewards, and designed as a fully themed high-intensity evolution of the event center experience. Now, this is the gem that we were talking about, the Crucible. The last time we spoke on it, it did not have any numbers. Well, let's figure out some of those numbers right here, because it will give us those details. Dealing damage to enemies below 50% maximum life causes you to slaughter them, dealing X percentage of your damage, increasing as the target's life gets lower up to a maximum of 100%. It still doesn't give you the percentage of damage. Secondary affix, Slayer's Rage, Enemies slain within 1 second of being slaughtered grants Slayer's Rage. Slayer's Rage increases damage and movement by Y%. Slayer's Rage stacks up to 6 times, and slaying a player instantly grants you 6 stacks. It can occur more often than once every 6 seconds. And the Resonance Gem compatibility, it got the Entrophic Well, Stubborn Oracle, and the Mercy's Harvest. Those are going to be the gems that can go within when you awaken it. Now, we of course have a Phantom Market Gallery cosmetic that's coming. You're talking your $170 cosmetic across all classes if you were to unlock it completely in full. That's coming on the 16th through the 14th. Or through the 14th of May, I should say. That's the event, and that's when it's going to be going on. Let's see if we can get a little bit better of a zoom here and get a better look at some of these characters. Necromancer. This is just basically, that actually looks pretty sweet right there. That looks Doom right there. The Blood Knight. That's all that it's given us. It's only given us the Blood Knight and the Necro. I'll tell you what, that Blood Knight looks pretty freaking sweet if you ask me. I like it. All right, let's go down a little bit further, see what else they got saying here. Slayer's Companions through Familiar Transmogs, okay? This is where I can show you guys a better look at these because, well, I have something better than just these pictures. This one here is the Brain Demon. I actually think it's pretty cool looking. I like it. I love my golden bird that flies along with me, but I may rock this thing for a few days as well. It looks pretty cool. Let me know what you guys believe and think about these cosmetics that are for your familiars. I personally like them. Another way to kind of give yourself a little bit of customization to your account. And then you've got this one, the Surratt, which looks like something that you can ride. It looks like it's massive. I haven't seen it next to a character or anything to know actually the size comparison, but very cool looking, very Doom looking, and a really nice job by Doom and Diablo, in my opinion, bringing the collaboration, giving that futuristic look here that you would get from anything Doom related. Now, we're also getting some new feature updates on Battle.net, basically some free gifts. On the 16th of April, we're getting a Telluric Pearl. On the 23rd of April, we're getting a Bound Gem Fragments. And on the 30th, random set item. Basically, they want us logging into Battle.net to buy stuff, but while we're there, they're giving us free stuff as well. So if you don't want to purchase things, at least go on over and get your free stuff. Release the seal on Bottled Hope for limited time. You have 2 gems. The Bottled Hope is one of them. Let me just go through this a little bit. For limited time, we will have 2 exclusive offers focusing on providing you with the fastest progression for the Bottled Hope Legendary Gem, which is the one that I have. These bundles give you direct access to the Bottled Hope Legendary Gem and can come in higher. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. I may be checking that out since I do rock a Bottled Hope. And rather than waiting on drops to try and get them, oh, is this a path forward so that we can now actually focus in on the gems we want and not have to rely on the gacha mechanic? If that's the case, that would be awesome if they start doing this on a regular basis. So you can, if you want to spend $500, at least you're spending them on the gems that you know you're going to be utilizing. I like this. Then we have item level and attribute scaling adjustments. With high level players farming gear in lower difficulty modes, item level and attribute scaling penalties will now apply within a capped range. Previously, penalties increased continuously based on level difference. Now, penalties have a maximum limit, preventing farther scaling beyond a set threshold. This change helps normalize gear, rewards end when your Paragon level is much higher than your current difficulty, helping to smooth out progression for players moving through each difficulty. Okay? New challenge dungeon affixes. Basically, these are going to be the different mods that you have inside of your challenge dungeons. We have execution. Enemies are stronger, but players have a chance to instantly execute monsters. Okay. And frenzied hits. Enemies have an increased chance to critically hit. Player critical hit chance is also greatly increased. So you're going to have more brutal, from both of those, more brutal enemies, but also you could do more brutal attacks to them. Ooh, they streamlined something with chat emojis and stickers. Let's see. Stickers and emojis have now been reorganized into clear tabbed categories. Stickers now appear in both mini chat and chat history, and in most regions, players can long press and hover over a sticker to view its name. All right, well, that's pretty cool. But now we come with some class balance changes, and some classes may be dead. Let's see what's going on with the wizard right here. I'm just going to read the new and the developer's note. You know what the old is because you're using it. You could skip forward to the classes that are effective or impactful to you. So, Temporal Facade. Slow time, this is the new, now causes you to enter a temporal flux for 9 seconds, so longer. Casting a skill conjures up to 1 stabilizing orb every 3 seconds. Collecting the orb reduces the cooldown of other skills by 5 seconds. Slow time's cooldown cannot be reduced by the effect. Here's the note on it and why they made the change. Temporal Facade has continually offered wizards an excessive amount of cooldown reduction, leading to many unbalanced spam builds. Oh, they're talking about the carpal tunnel builds that are exhausting to play. I agree. Overall, this change reduces the effectiveness of the cooldown reduction mechanic and alleviates the functional spam burden. The orb collection is also intended to add more meaningful gameplay and positioning requirements for a bonus. I'll tell you what, if they take away the carpal tunnel builds from the wizard, I can see that being a massive nerf to the wizard class, because although it's posed here as they are trying to give us something that is a little bit easier on the hands, at the end of the day, what's really going on is it's something that is going to be less damaging in the world and also in PvP. I'm sure wizards are not happy about that. Also right here, oh wow, we got a bunch for the wizard. Holy cow. There's more for the wizard. I'm sorry guys, it's all wizard. It's all wizard. We have Meteor. This is from Binding Forces. Meteor now empowers you for 6 seconds, allowing you to charge up and drop huge meteors to fall at target locations, dealing damage to all nearby enemies. When one of these meteors damages an enemy, the damage of the next meteor within 3 seconds is increased up to 20%, up to a maximum of 60. Meteor's cast range increases the longer it's charged, but utilizing a dash skill will cancel the empowerment. While empowered in battlegrounds, your field of vision will increase. Dev note, this change heavily reduces wizards' ability to spam high damage meteors from a far distance. Oh, this changes approximately 2 seconds to reach full range compared to the previous version, giving wizards a choice between consistent high damage to slower burn. All right, there goes the invisible meteor build. Also going to be dead now for the wizard. Spectral Weave. New, Ice Crystal now conjures a crystal that follows you for 5 seconds, dealing damage per second to nearby enemies. While active, your channel ray skills can be toggled on or off, and while they're automatically consuming energy and retract up to 5 nearby enemies, dealing 100% of their damage. Dev note, as an additional adjustment to the essence, the attack range of Ice Crystal's refraction beam has had its range reduced to 4 yards. My gosh. And Cycle Stone. Ice armor now protects you within a miniature blizzard for 5 seconds, reducing all damage you take by 30%, while also periodically chilling enemies for 3 seconds, reducing their attack and movement speeds by 30%. Here's the addition. Each enemy chilled by the blizzard also grants you a shield absorbing damage, stacking up to 5 times. So that one actually seems like it's getting a bit of a buff. But it is not only the wizard, because the Tempest is being struck as well. Let's take a look. Skyne Partner. Rolling Surf now empowers your edges for 6 seconds, causing you and your Zephyr's primary attacks to throw water daggers that return to you, dealing damage to enemies they strike. Primary attacking while moving grants you additional dagger for each throw, up to a maximum of 4. Additionally, you ride a wave that allows you to attack and move each additional dagger also increases your movement speed by 10%. The dev note, this change is focused on adjusting the method of gaining additional daggers to throw, allowing them to stack up faster while simplifying how each movement speed bonus works. And then we have the Howling Anchor. The new description for this is every 8 yards moved, your next crosswinds knock back enemies and causes them to bleed, dealing damage per second for 5 seconds. Each enemy can't be knocked back more often than once every 6 seconds. The dev note, to reinforce the Tempest high movement playstyles and provide them with more protection, we've adjusted the skill to provide a knockback effect in addition to its bleed. So it looks like the Tempest getting a little bit of help right there. Now, aside from the Tempest and Wizard getting some changes, the Wizard getting some drastic ones, we have changes to the combat rating of Heliquary bosses in Inferno 10, 11, and Inferno 12. You could see all of the new Inferno Heliquary boss combat rating requirements right here. Basically, most of these are going to be getting easier for you, so you should be able to push higher in your Heliquary. And you guys can take a look right here through all of these, because that is the end of all the changes coming in this update. So this is kind of like a little bit of a mini update, but some massive things. Combat rating changes are big. The class balancing is big, and the rest of the stuff here is basically stuff that's going to be supported, and with that whole Doom Diablo Immortal collaboration, which I'm actually excited for. Only 3 more days we're going to be able to engage in this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.